As many of you know, I'm Dr. Alejandro,
And I'm Dr. Emily.
and we're on a mission to rebuild chiropractic one partnership at a time.
We help chiropractors open practices, revive failing ones, and step into their true calling. This is the Path to Victory podcast.
4 successful clinics, but 1 failure. And that's exactly what we're going to talk today. We're going to talk today about the failure. I love talking about the wins. I love when people talk about the wins, but I'm a big believer that we need to talk about our failures as much as we talk about our wins, or even more, because I understand we need to celebrate our wins, but we need to use our failure as a feedback. We need to learn from it. So I want to talk about this failure that I had. That way we could all learn from it and don't make the same mistake. What am I talking about? There was a clinic that I did sweat equity. What do I mean with that? So they offered me a partnership. They said, hey, you could buy into the clinic, no cash needed. I just need you to basically raise the standard, raise the numbers, rebuild the whole clinic, and then you get equity out of it. I'm like, perfect, I'll do that. So I had to move a month away from my family, from my wife, my son, and I was staying in an Airbnb and hotel. It was miserable. But I wanted to do it that way I could talk about it. I don't talk about it as much as I should. So I think this is the first time that I openly candid talk about it. So I went the first day. I went a week before I actually moved there, and I saw the process. They had 2 staff and 1 doctor that was coming into that time, and they were using a system that I was not a big fan of it. They were seeing around 10 patients a day with 2 staff. It is brutal. How are you going to profit that way? Like you're not even helping people. Everyone is sitting on the desk. No one is doing anything. No one is doing door knocking or anything. Fine. I saw the process. I asked them what's working, what's not working. Basically, the answers that I got were not helpful because they look at it as a staff perspective, not as an owner perspective. So I had to, on the drive back, 3 hours back to my house on a Friday, I was like thinking, what's going on? What's wrong here? And I was just like trying to get everything out of it. Then that Monday, I went back and I had to rebuild everything. I started seeing patients. I was not going to do that, but I started seeing patients. I started closing care plans. The office was growing. And I even from my own money, I did a marketing that my brother actually helped me. He helped me get the addresses of every neighborhood around. I sent them basically a mail with a gift card. Basically, the first appointment was going to be free based on us. I said, code this number. You're going to talk to, and I put the name of the office manager that was on the front. And when she saw the letter, she was mad. She said, why did you put my name? I'm like, well, that way people call you by your name whenever they call, and they want to talk with, let's suppose, Miss Jones. They want to talk with Miss Jones because that's the one that sent the letter. No, I don't want you to put my name out there, whatever. I'm like, what the heck? Like, dude, you don't understand that if I don't do that, you're going to stay without a job. And I told her like that, like, hey, if we don't do this, you're going to stay without a job. Do you understand that? She's like, yeah, but whatever. And she was putting excuses. I'm like, hey, it's already done. Answer the phone call, schedule the people, let's do this. So a lot of people started calling. They were terrible on the phones. We train on different things like, hey, this is the average, this is what we're gonna do. They did totally the opposite. So I called the owner of the clinic, the one that was gonna do the sweat equity with me. I called him and said, hey, like this no was getting done, like this was getting done, like they're doing this. They're not following instructions. He's like, well, I train with them and they actually don't do that. I don't care what you train on. This is what's going on. I'm in person. This is what's going on. What are we going to do about it? It's exactly what I answered. He's like, well, I'll get in a phone call with them, whatever. So they, BS their way out. They told him a couple stuff. It didn't get done, basically. So I closed care plans. The office grew when I was there to a number that they didn't hit in the past 6 months. I grew it. But what happened? A new doctor was coming in. I was training him. He was not getting the system. I did a lot of lunch and learns, POC, and he wasn't getting it. He was not getting it. He was a little slower to get it. He comes from the joint that they don't have a system like that. So for him, it was kind of harder to establish like, wait, I need to learn this. I need to learn that. So it was a little harder in that perspective. When I left, the office went downhill. I had a trip to Puerto Rico with the family already planned. I was not going to cancel it. I went to Puerto Rico. I came back. I went over the numbers, and it was brutal. The business owner of that office, it was out of state. He had a good intention. He had a good plan, and a good vision. And he's a great integrator, actually. The problem is that he wasn't listening to my feedback. I was like, hey, we should charge this in order for this to this to this. He didn't want to do it. Hey, we should change the system from this to this. I know my system is already proven. Can we please do it? He was like, no, my system is proven already as well. I'm like, it's totally not proven. Look, you have me here right now helping you because it's not proven. So I didn't have a lot. I still got my sweat equity, okay? But the office finished up closing. Exactly what I told the staff. Hey, if you don't do this, they're going to close. And it was the best thing. Why? Things that I learned. What do I partnership? So in that clinic, we had a chiropractor that it was on salary. He didn't have skin on the game. He was going to split profits once we hit to a certain amount of number, but he was not hitting it, obviously. So he was on salary. He wasn't hungry for going out there, meeting people, knocking on doors, going to BNI, because he didn't have equity on it and he didn't have the profit. So he was based on salary. So we learned from there that partnership is what we need to keep doing. That's what we've done in our 4 clinics. I tried one that it wasn't like that and it failed. Okay, so that's my recommendation. When I talk to people that want to open multiple clinics, I know that I told them, hey, if you don't want to be on the second clinic, I recommend you just doing partnership. It's the way to do it, because that way that person has skin on the game and that person is not going to let you go, like all of a sudden disappear. Just imagine you have to go to your clinic and then you have to go to this clinic. It's going to be miserable. It's pointless to have 2 clinics that way. That's why I'm not a big believer on satellite clinics. I'm not a big believer on that, because it's, just make the patients travel to you while you're traveling to them. If they really want it, they'll come to you. You're just splitting everything. Okay. Second that I learned is don't try a new system. My system is proven already. Just stick to it. I tried to put it. They didn't agree. I should have talked that before. Hey, the only way I could do this for equity and help you is if we can use my system. I'll train everyone literally in 2 weeks to get my system, and from there we start the count. I didn't do that, so it was harder because it wasn't planned. It wasn't established on the contract. I just had to go in and just, do their own system that it basically didn't work. So if I had this opportunity again, I would say I need to do my own system because it's proven already and I could help you even better that way and we don't have to close the doors. So that's exactly what I learned from it. I would definitely do it again if I can use my system. I'll probably bring a staff with me as well from my clinic, from one of my clinics. That way they help me because they're ballers, all of them. That's why we hire them. We stopped hiring for participation or projects. When I mean projects, it's people that we need to build from 0 to 100. We stopped doing that, like it's not worth it. It's not, my energy cannot do that. Just to have a body on the way, I cannot keep doing that with my energy. So I'm done with my projects. What I mean with that is where we raise the standard for hiring. And that was thanks to a lot of people that gave me that feedback. I'm not doing that again. So those are things that I learned from buying into that clinic. Eventually we closed. Thankfully I had equity, I had the material, the equipment, and we could open another clinic with that equipment. But definitely, if you want to open a new clinic or buy into a new clinic, just reach out to me. Again, 4 good, 1 wrong. That's the one I want to talk about. And there's more things to talk about this, honestly. Like I could write a book about this one because it was a terrible experience. Definitely, I want to do it again, but again with my system. If you have any question, please reach out. And don't forget to sign up to the newsletter, paththovictorychiro.com.